The sound of laughter rang out louder than the clinking glasses. She leaned in across the table, lips smudged with perfectly placed red like she'd rehearsed every second of this performance. Her friends, 3 smug faces masked with false concern and sharpened smiles, stared at me like I was some sad case in need of saving. She tilted her head slightly, wearing a pout that was anything but sincere, then flashed that poisoned smile. "You should feel lucky I ever went out with you," she said, her voice carrying loud enough for everyone around us to hear. The restaurant went silent. She stood up, wine glass still half full, ego spilling over. "A man like you should be thankful." And with that, she turned and walked out. No glance back. No hesitation. I didn't run after her. Didn't speak. I simply took out my card, settled the bill without a word, and walked out with my head held high. She believed she had humiliated me. What she didn't realize was that she'd just set me free. 2 years earlier, I would have done anything for her. I met Olivia at one of the lowest points of my life. I had just lost my job, was still grieving my father, and trying to piece myself back together. She entered like a sunrise through heavy fog, bright, warm, full of energy. She told me she saw something in me, and I believed every word. She urged me to rebuild, to chase something of my own. She convinced me I had promise. I wanted to be worthy, for her, for us. So I threw myself into the grind. I started a business from scratch, clawed my way forward, and handed her every bit of myself, my energy, my time, my loyalty, my heart. Maybe that's where I went wrong. The signs began subtly. Little jabs at parties, sarcastic remarks about my appearance, comments like, "You clean up okay," or "Mirrors must pity you." Her friends would laugh. I used to laugh too, brushing it off, trying to be the bigger person. But over time, her affection faded. Her kisses turned cold. Her phone always flipped face down. The girls' nights stretched past 3 a.m. I didn't accuse her. I waited. I observed. And the day I saw her get into his car, it was clear, this wasn't just infidelity. She was replacing me. He was everything I wasn't, tall, polished, arrogant, the kind of man who inherited wealth, not built it. She used to make fun of men like that. But now, she was chasing comfort, skipping the journey. I was never the destination, just the foundation she used to get there. So, I shut down my emotions and began my own quiet operation. I'm not the type to explode or throw things. I don't yell. I analyze. While she slept peacefully, I cloned her phone. While she laughed about my insecure phase with her girlfriends, I monitored every GPS ping, read every deleted message. I built a dossier, screenshots, receipts, hotel logs. She didn't know her world was made of glass. And I knew exactly where to strike. Next came the financials. The company she pushed me to create, it flourished. Quietly, consistently. While she spent her afternoons shopping with her boy toy, I was closing 6-figure deals. She never asked where the money came from, just assumed it was hers to enjoy. I let her believe that. Then I restructured everything. Moved assets. Changed ownership. Transferred accounts into protected entities. Anything tied to her name vanished like smoke. I even bought a penthouse, under a trust she couldn't trace. She had no clue. The night she made a scene at the restaurant, she thought it was her grand finale, dumping me in public, putting on a performance for her audience. What she didn't know was that her lease, co-signed by me, had been terminated that very morning. She didn't know her credit card would get declined an hour later. She certainly didn't expect that her new man would be served with legal documents, linking him to a financial scheme I anonymously reported. She'd used company funds, my funds, to shower him with gifts. That's called fraud. And I documented every transaction. The piece de resistance? I scheduled a mass email to her firm's HR department. It included a detailed breakdown of her side hustle, complete with timestamps, screenshots, and GPS logs compared to her work schedule. HR opened the message at 9:02 a.m. By 9:15, security was walking her out the front door. That same morning, I woke up in my new home to 84 missed calls. A dozen voicemails, full of sobbing, shouting, apologies. "Please, can we talk? I didn't mean it. I was angry. Why would you do this to me?" I didn't reply. I made coffee, stepped out onto my balcony, and sipped espresso while watching the sun rise over the skyline. Peace, it turns out, tastes a lot like coffee at